Oh, goody.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another video. So, channel update time. So we're pretty close to hitting some pretty big milestones, honestly. So I wanted to give a little bit of an update on kind of the channel, the game, kind of where my head is at right now, and some changes I'm planning on making in the near future. So, let's just get started with the good news, and that is we are pretty close to some pretty big milestones here on the channel. I've been doing this for just over a year, which has been awesome. I started, I think, like a week after Mercenaries launch, and then I really ramped it up in November, doing the full time thing, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about later. But about 1 year later, we are closing in on 4K subscribers. We're at, I think, 3,900 right now, only 100 away. And an even crazier one is we're only, I think, like 10 or 15,000 views away from 1 million total views, which is absolutely insane. When I started doing this, I never expected that we'd get anywhere near this far in such a relatively short amount of time. So a big thank you to everyone who supports my content, watches, all that stuff. I couldn't do it without you. So I really do appreciate all the support and just the general kindness of the community. Oh, I've said it before, and I'm sure I'll say it again in the future, but a big reason I've stuck with Mercenaries and whatnot, despite all of its very glaring flaws and issues, is not only because I enjoy the gameplay, but more so because the community has just been a very big driving force in keeping me going, because I really love doing especially the community events we do. And speaking of which, Hopper 3 will be going up, I believe, tomorrow, finally. Took a little bit longer to get that out for YouTube than I expected, but if you missed that, it was a great event, and that'll be up in full on YouTube tomorrow, as well as just the finals if you just want to see how it ends. And we are planning another community event. So I think the goal here is going to be next Saturday. I haven't set a time yet, but usually it's late afternoon, early evening, Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do another Mercenaries draft. It's been a while since we've done a draft. We haven't done one with the new characters, and I'm very excited to see how the format may have changed with the addition of these new, very powerful characters we got in the last drop. So if you enjoyed the draft stuff, be sure to stop by the Twitch channel next Saturday, and it should be a fun time. And then on top of that, we do want to do another big tournament. Not going to be going to the Popper 4 right away. I think we want to do a event that is a bit more kind of constructed, focused, and just to see, what people can come up with. I've liked the formats we've used in the past, where it's one merc only across like multiple teams, and then it's best of 3. So we'll probably do something like that. No date on that one yet, but probably sometime in mid to late November for that one. Stay tuned to the channel for more information on that if you enjoy the community events. And as usual, those will both be going up here on YouTube sometime after they go live on Twitch. Yeah, so that is most of the news stuff. The other thing I want to talk about here is kind of where I'm looking to go in the future with this channel. Now, we did get a pretty big announcement with the patch preview. And there are definitely some good things in there, most notably the task change that is happening. I'm actually planning on having the new player guide out next week, the updated one, so that we have all the information when we get the patch notes, and I can put that into the video, so that hopefully that will last a long time, like my old new player guides have as well. So look forward to that. If you are a new or returning player, you're going to have pretty much all the information you need if you want to get into Mercenaries. One thing I do want to address, and this has to do with the fact that I am doing content creation full time, is that I do have some new things I want to try out with this channel. Um, Basically, I've noticed for a little while now that things have definitely slowed down in terms of growth. And unfortunately, if you want to do what I'm doing full time uh, and have it be sustainable, uh, growth stagnation is not really a good thing. In fact, it's quite the opposite. And I think this has to do with the fact that Mercenaries certainly hasn't done all that it could, and Blizzard hasn't done all that it could to fix the issues that this mode has and make it more accessible and more appealing to people in general, as well as the larger Hearthstone fan base, player base. I think that's unfortunate. You know, we're like a year in, and don't get me wrong, the changes that are coming are good. We still don't have full information, but we have enough to get an idea of how this is going to impact things. And the task thing is absolutely fantastic. But as you may have heard on the recent podcast episode where we talked about the coin exchange for extra coins and stuff, and frankly, I think that leaves a lot to be desired. It's nice that we're finally getting it, but given how limited it seems to be, and given the fact that it took over a year to get this, I think it leaves a lot to be desired, and I'm really not that impressed with the system they came up with. I mean, even if the exchange rate is really good, the fact that it's limited to dailies and it looks like it's only going to be 2 offers a day, I think that's just really bad. There's not much other way to say it. It's nice that it's there; it'll help people, but I think myself and others would have probably appreciated this change a lot more if it came a month, 2 months, even 3 or 4 months into the game's life. But when you've been putting it on the back burner for a whole year and saying things like, you know, we know how important this is to get right, and then you come out with the system being time gated and a small amount per day, I don't really find that to be super satisfactory in the current thing. I'm not going to talk about it a whole ton here. If you really want to hear my thoughts, as well as Wizard Beast and Mulahoo's as well, you can check out the most recent episode of The Fighting Pit. We talked about that a lot. So with that, basically, I want to expand what I'm doing here on this channel. Now, it doesn't mean Mercenary stuff is going to be going away. Still planning on producing content for Mercenaries. Still going to be doing all the PvP stuff, PvP events, tier lists, pretty much all the stuff you're used to seeing here will still be coming. But I want to add a few things to the roster that I think fellow Mercenary players will actually enjoy. And though right now the plan is those 2 major things that I'm planning on adding to this channel are going to be some Marvel Snap content. You've probably seen me talking about it recently. We talked a bit about it on the podcast. I've been streaming it a bunch, and I'm just really happy with that game right now. It's a ton of fun to play. People are very engaged with it. Now, it did just come out, so it's possible. It could fall off, or my interest in it could fall off, or whatever. But for now, it has been just an absolute joy to play. I've really loved interacting with the community with that game. I know a lot of people who play Hearthstone and play Mercenaries are trying it out and enjoying it. And it's just a lot of fun to me. And it's something I'm passionate about and want to make some content for. I've already been making content for this game. I've been doing basically daily shorts on my side channel, link in the description. If you want to check that out, as well as uploading the Twitch VODs over to that channel. And I'm going to keep doing it that way. I don't plan on uploading those over here. Plan on keeping that strictly to the other channel, but I do think I am going to start uploading some basically deck techs and games. Basically, kind of like you're used to seeing with the Mercenaries PvP stuff I do, where, we go over a deck and we show some games with it. And so I'm probably going to start implementing a bit of Snap stuff onto this channel in that way. And I think there is a lot of overlap in terms of like what makes me interested about this game and what makes me interested in Mercenaries. I definitely recommend giving it a shot if you have not already. And I do think it does quite a lot right. It's not a perfect game by any means, but I do think they get a lot of stuff correct in terms of just making a very fun, accessible, free-to-play card game. And I feel like it does stuff that feels different and unique compared to a lot of the other genres, or not genres, compared to a lot of other games in the genre like Magic, like Hearthstone, like Runeterra. I feel like it really sets itself apart, and as long as I'm enjoying it, I think I'm going to start doing some content for that here. And there's one other game that I think also falls into this boat. This one is not out yet, but it will be in about 2 weeks' time, and that is going to be the new Pokemon game. So Scarlet and Violet. So if you didn't already know, I'm a pretty big Pokemon fan, if you can't tell by the Umbreon thing behind me here. But I really love Pokemon, always have. I really liked competitive battling in some of the older generations. I played a little bit in Sword and Shield, but I wasn't a big fan of the Gigantamax mechanic, which was kind of the gimmick of that generation. So I kind of didn't really do too much of it. Actually, if you go back to the very beginning of my channel, there are some Pokemon Wi-Fi battles up there. So that's actually what I started with here, a little bit before Mercenaries came out. And I had a lot of fun doing that, but eventually I didn't really care for the gimmick and how much it impacted the game. But after doing some research into these new games and seeing, that old gimmick I didn't like is gone, there's a new one that seems much more interesting and I think will be better for the overall game, or at least my enjoyment of the game. And so I'm going to be doing some Pokemon Wi-Fi battle stuff on here. And I think there is a huge overlap in terms of, if you like Mercenaries and you have never tried competitive Pokemon or you've never watched competitive Pokemon, I highly recommend giving it a shot because it is so much fun. And they basically, that's kind of why I liked Mercenaries, was because it gave me a lot of the feelings I had in competitive Pokemon, except Pokemon, it has such a larger amount of customization to it. Merc really simplified it down, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes making it more simple can make it more accessible to a wider player base and whatnot. But I think, obviously, as we know, Mercenaries isn't really accessible to a wider player base because of a lot of the issues gating PvP and whatnot, as well as some of the issues with PvP, like botting and the ladder system and constant rematches. And those are things you don't really have to worry about in Pokemon, and you get a lot more depth as well. So I definitely recommend checking that stuff out. Basically, the plan is going to keep the Merc stuff going. Still going to be doing Merc's PvP. Still going to be doing the guides. Still going to be doing the tier lists and the podcast. None of that's going anywhere. But it might be a little bit less consistent because the Mercenaries videos that I do, I really love doing them. But they take a long time to make those videos. And it is just hard to do that every day. It really is. I think these other games are, and weaving them in is going to be a big positive for just my enjoyment of all of the games overall, as well as just expanding the channel a bit more, attracting a bit wider of an audience. But the core of it is that I think both of these games really give me a similar feeling that I get from Mercenaries in terms of the strategic element of it, the competitive PvP aspect, especially Pokemon. I mean, if you've never watched or played competitive Pokemon and you enjoy Merc's PvP, really I recommend you should give it a shot, because it is so much fun. And I've really missed doing it, but I didn't like it last generation. Now that the new one's around the corner, it seems a lot more promising. So that's kind of the big news here. Is regular content still going to be coming like usual, but I'm also going to be weaving in some Marvel Snap stuff, as well as Pokemon Wi-Fi battle stuff. And I'm also going to be doing other content on the side channel. I'll probably be doing the single player playthrough of Pokemon, streaming that, and then uploading that over there, as well as more Twitch VODs from when I do like long snap streams, or even I might even put up the long Mercs VODs over there. I'm not sure yet. Still figuring out what I'm trying to do with that channel, but that's going to be more variety focused, whereas this channel is going to be about, you know, a few core things. And right now, for me, those core things are Mercenaries, Snap, and Pokemon. So hopefully this was informative. I wanted to give kind of just a general update so that when this stuff starts coming out, it's not super surprising. But I definitely hope everyone at least gives it a shot, to see if it's their type of thing, because I think there's a lot of fun to be had here, and especially when, unfortunately, Blizzard doesn't seem willing or able to make the changes that the community has been pretty much begging for about a year now. You know, they could still deliver with the PvE endgame, but we're not going to be seeing that until February at the earliest, so that's a ways away. There probably will be a new event with this patch notes, so I'll be covering that, and we'll be doing some PvP if there's a new event character. And so still going to be doing that stuff, but it just, you know, I said when I first started this channel, yeah, I was given it a year, and then I was going to evaluate how things stand, and that's basically what I'm doing here. I evaluated where things are, where it looks like they're going, and I think this is a course correction that I need to take if I want to keep doing what I'm doing full time. So that's pretty much it for the channel update. Again, big thank you to everyone who has helped me get to where I'm at today. Really hype. We're closing in on 4,000 subscribers and that million views. Absolutely crazy. And look forward to some more Merc stuff coming soon. Again, the Pauper 3 stuff going up tomorrow. The new player guide will be next week. And if there are event stuff, we'll do some event guides, patch notes, all that good stuff. So a lot to look forward to there, and then we'll have some of that new stuff sprinkled in. Probably Snap first, and then Pokemon after that comes out. Probably have to beat the game and whatnot before I can actually do the battling. So that'll probably be like late November. Yeah, but that's it for the channel update. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.